But I believe there are several things we can agree upon. First, that the size of someone's bank account should not determine whether or not they sit in jail or go home, even before they've been convicted of a crime. That was the goal of bail reform. It was a righteous one, and I stand by it.
Carol, as you know, I'm a terrible person. I've never pretended otherwise, but it's very hard for me to feel bad for New Yorkers when I hear speeches like that, and I know the crime's going to continue to get worse when they just went out once again and voted for it over and over again. They vote for Eric Adams. They vote for Kathy Hochul. Why am I supposed to care anymore?
Well, think about all the people who didn't vote for Kathy Hochul. It was actually pretty close. And the thing is that I care about those people who are trying so hard to get New York back to normalcy, but they just don't have the numbers. And there's still quite a lot of them. And again, how close the election was pretty good. But yeah, they didn't win, and that sucks. But a lot of people can't leave. They have lifelong businesses. They have families there, etc. But I would say it's interesting because I am actually a very good person. So for a long time, I also thought, why does your bank account dictate, whether or not you're out on bail? But this is such a great example of the sheer lunacy. I never wanted zero bail. Zero is crazy. Why would you have zero bail? Okay. There was once a shoplifting story. A shoplifter had managed to get away from the police. And because he had gotten away from the police, they had him in the back of the car. He managed to escape. It was a whole thing. He had a $10,000 bail, this homeless teenager who was shoplifting. And I was like, that's crazy. Obviously 10,000 to him is like 10 million. So I always wanted the bail to kind of match up with the crime or the person, sure. But zero is like just saying we don't care about crime. We don't want to fight this. And let's let everybody back out on the streets to commit more crime. Zero is bananas.
Can it be saved? Now, I'm not under the impression that it would be anytime soon. You got a George Soros DA, you got Eric Adams, Kathy Hochul's an idiot. I know change isn't coming anytime soon. I know traditionally you would say, well, it'll bottom out eventually. New York's been down before. Carol, I'm sorry, I just don't see it with this modern day Democratic Party. I don't see it.
I think it will. And here's why. I think that a lot of the people who voted for this kind of madness and maybe voted even for Kathy Hochul again really are not, they don't think it's going to bottom out. So if it does, I do think New York will bounce back. I do think it needs to hit rock bottom, and that's really sad, but I believe that New Yorkers will fight back once it gets past a certain point. People can put up with a lot, and they can really deal with, I just saw this during COVID. They were willing to deal with so much, and they weren't standing up and fighting back. But I think if the crime level continues to go up, I can see New York finally realizing what it has done and really fighting back against these policies.
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.